Hey 6th graders, this is Miss Ragland, and today we are going to start on our book that we're going to use for our illustration project for our first studio project together. Now for this step, you're going to create your accordion fold book, and you will need a piece of cardstock. Now if you don't have cardstock at home, don't worry, a piece of paper will do just fine. Now what you're going to do first is you're going to fold it in half, long ways, like a hot dog, making sure that you crease the edges really well. Also make sure that your corners are aligned. Now you're going to open it back up, flip it to the opposite side, and make the same crease again. Again, making sure that you are really working on nice creases. Then I'm going to flip it over one more time. One last crease, and there you have it. Now we're going to open it back up, and we're going to rip it, and that's going to create what we call a deckled edge, which is just a fancy word for a ripped edge, or torn. So if you start at the top with a little tear, then you hold one hand very close to the crease and pull it down with the opposite hand. You should be able to create a nice deckled edge. Now you have two pieces of cardstock, both with rips on one side. So I'm going to take my pencil and put a little arrow just so that I know those are the top. Those are going to be the top of our book. Now we're going to glue these together, and we want to make sure that we align them so that they are both ripped edges at the top. We're just going to use a regular Elmer's glue stick to glue them. You're going to put a little bit of glue right along that edge. Then you're going to align the top edge and the bottom edge, making sure it's straight. Now don't fret too much over how wide this is. This is just art class, so we just like to eyeball things. No measurements necessary. And the same goes for this next step. We're going to create our accordion fold style book by starting on the left side and folding our paper over to create a rectangle. Now, like I said, it doesn't really matter exactly how big your rectangle is, but you just want to make a nice size little page. Now you're going to turn it over, and you're going to fold it backwards, making sure that you try to crease it along this side so that the pages are equal and the same width. So see, you're going to repeat those steps. So you're going to turn it back over, you're going to fold it this way. Now this time you'll have to be a little careful because you're reaching that spot where we glued it down, so it's a little bit trickier. Press down really nicely, making sure you crease all the edges. We're going to fold it over again one more time. Now, for this last piece that you have hanging out, you can do a couple different things. Whatever you want to do is fine. You can fold it back if you have enough to make one more piece. If you folded it perfectly, which never happens, but in this case it actually did, you can have one more page. Usually that never happens, so it should look something like this. Now if you have a piece that's really small left over, you can trim it, or there's one other thing you can do. You can fold it this way to create another cover. So it's up to you guys, whatever you want to do. There's really no right or wrong way to do this, so don't fret. Do just make sure that when you start drawing, remember the deckled edge or the ripped edge is going to be the top of your book, so that the bottom is really flat, so it sits nicely on the flat side. And we'll be able to display these sitting like this so everybody can see your beautiful illustrations. So that's it for this demo. On the next one, I will show you guys how to start your illustrations. See ya!